I give you a leaf, you give me a treat.
There it is.
Do we understand each other?
Are your plumpy little vermits that you have in dog is in studio that smart?
Well, they're younger, so they would
you
be
can
like
train
a
'em.
baby. Yeah. So can they be? Most definitely. The Puggles, as we're going to find out, are going to be all about how can I help you? I want to please you in some way, shape, or form right now. And so we're going to learn about the Puggle. I wanted to start off the program with some realizations that I had this last week. Officer Falcon was in our studio last week as a trainer. He was talking about training tips and stuff. And one of the training tips that he brought out is walking. Does your dog pull? And we kind of joked that everybody's getting these harnesses because they don't want to hurt the dog and all that. And and I get it. I understand the approach, but you end up kind of messing up the whole thing because, all right, if we put a harness on the dog, what is the dog going to do more of now? What do we use harnesses for on dogs in the working world? And it's, sled dogs and all that kind of stuff. They will pull more if you put a harness on there. So if you want to just relieve the pressure on the neck, get a harness. You're right. Go that way. If you want to minimize the pulling, then go a different route. And we talked about the controlees. There's different no pull type harnesses, and they work very well. I've used them all my dog's life up until this last week. And Brandon Falcon talked about, well, you might want to consider the choker chain. And I said, thinking I've not ever really considered bringing one of them home. And the reason is, I just don't like the choker, aspect of it and the stigma that goes along with it. And I kind of just bought into it. Those people that use them, I always said, more power to you. Make sure you're properly trained. Brandon talked about one thing with them. He says, you are not choking the dog. The dog is choking the dog. When the dog pulls, then that chokes them and then they back off.
If you're using the choker collar properly.
Properly, yes. And so that intrigued me. And I said, okay, I'm just going to, check this out. I told Brandon, I said, yeah, I'm going to try it at home. He even texted me. He goes, did you get one yet? And I said, yeah, I got it, but I hadn't tried it yet. So that night, I just tried it on little Susie, our Maltese poodle, all of 7 pounds, loves to pull, loves to discover, all that kind of stuff. I like the discovery part. It's the pulling thing. He's just yanking on your arm the whole time. And this is a little dog. So I put it on the choker. I did the chain. I bought a chain, and then I also there's a nylon version of the same thing. I tried the chain that night, and I did not pull on that collar. I let Susie do the pulling, kind of a thing. And so walking around the house, within 10 seconds, all of a sudden she went, did one of those things. And I went, ooh, Susie, come on, figure it out. And then she backed off a little bit and got it loose again. And then within 10 seconds, she did it twice. And then, and that was the last time she did it. She did not pull again. I walked around the house for about 10 minutes and I kind of reversed directions like Brandon was talking about and all that, and did not have any pull on that dog. I told my wife, Wendy, about it. I go, hey, next walk, you want to put this on. It is incredible, because we always say, gosh, if Susie just wouldn't pull your arm off, this would be a nice walk. The discovery part, walking around and smelling and checking this out and all that kind of stuff is great. We don't want to limit that. But the constant, like, up on her rear end, pulling so hard, her front paws are off the ground. None of that occurred in that 10 minutes that I was just walking around the house. So I just wanted to share that with the audience, that was an incredible experience. If you want to learn more about that collar, come on into Petland. I can train you up. I can show you how it works. You make the decision. Ultimately, is it right? Is it right for your dog or not? Kind of a thing. But I just found I'm going to use it because Susie trained herself, and that, hey, this is when I do pull, this is when I don't pull, and I'm good with that. So that's my training tip.
Our time is short. We only have 15 minutes left. So,
Yikesies.
Yeah, you went on a nice little tangent there. What's the breed of the week?
Puggle. Let's make this one short. So we have the cutest little Puggles in the store right now. They're plumpy, they're cute, they're small, and all that kind of stuff. So what is a Puggle? What's a Puggle? Do you know it's two breeds put together. What do you think it is?
A pug and a dachshund.
I love your responses. So the pug and the beagle make up the Puggle. And I just wanted to read the temperament on both. And so you can get a feel for what kind of, personality is this breed. So it will be a smaller breed, not a small, but kind of medium to small size. It's going to be a shedding dog. It's going to be shorter hair, so you don't have to do any grooming or anything. And the temperament here on the beagle, the temperament on our website, if you want to go read it, petlandiowacity.com. Upper middle of the screen, there's something about breeds. Just click on that, and then you can work your way to the breed that you want to learn about. For the beagle, the temperament. Beagles are happy-go-lucky and friendly, making them a wonderful family pet. They are also favored for their compact size and short, easy-to-care-for coat. Since they lived in packs for hundreds of years, they naturally enjoy the company of other dogs and humans. Curious and comedic, they often follow their nose, which can lead to some mischief if they are not provided with daily activity. So that's the beagle. Combine that with the pug. Now, the pug's temperament, the pug's reason for living is to be near their people and to please them. And their sturdiness makes them a family favorite. They are comfortable in small apartments because they need minimal exercise, but the breed can adapt easily to all situations. The pug sheds, but its short coat requires little grooming. I think that sums up what I said on the front end. It's a really family pet as far as all that goes. It's somewhat on that sturdy side. If you've got boys or girls that like to, be rough and tumble and all that, a Puggle is going to be great for you. It's going to be, if you want to go for runs, a Puggle is going to keep pace with you and all that. So it's a great family pet as far as all that goes. So
it scares me a bit when people start combining breeds like that. It's like, fine, you got good ones, but those early, I don't know. It just seems kind of strange combining breeds like that, doesn't it?
I think what you're experiencing is a common today trait, a trait of today. But think
Can't we
of,
just leave them alone?
yeah, and that's the same trait. People like purebreds. And so it's like, well, we already have all these breeds. And we've talked about this on the show, so I'm not sure if you're throwing me a softball or if you're actually saying what you really think. Because how did we get the pug?
I always say what I really think.
How did we get the pug? It's a mixture of multiple breeds that came up with the pug. How do we get the beagle? It's a mixture of a bunch of breeds that came up with the beagle. How do we get the German Shepherd? It's a mixture of a lot of breeds that came up with the German Shepherd a long time ago. So we assume it has been that way forever. I like the Pomeranian. 100 years ago, the Pomeranian was 40 pounds.
I shouldn't have gotten you off on another tangent. I apologize. I should know better than that just to keep my mouth shut.
The Pomeranian today is less than 10 pounds. So how do we get there? We didn't keep on taking the smallest one out of the litter. That would be the runt, probably an unhealthy situation.
Well, that's why a listener emailed me about that, going, gosh, what happens to some of those early experiments?
Well, there's plenty of those going on in our neighborhoods right now. And that's what we got into trouble as a society with, pet overpopulation, and that's when spay and neuter became very
Bob Barker.
Yes, they were producing a lot of breeds that nobody intentionally did. Nobody did it for a reason, and it just kept on occurring over and over again. We had a tremendous amount of lab mixes running around the neighborhood. And so Bob Barker did a nice job, as well as everybody else, on the spay and neuter. At this point in time in our society, we actually have the canine side under control. We are no longer in an overpopulation on dogs. On cats, we're still having an issue there. So we still need to emphasize the spay and neuter. But on the dog side, we actually have a lack of dogs in our society. There is more demand than there is supply. So yeah, that's all a good discussion there. But to the original point, I love mixing breeds because that's the heritage of dogs. That's what it's been happening for literally thousands of years to get the dogs that we have today. So I don't poo-poo it. I accept it. But I understand where where you're coming from, Jerry.
So the beagle, what about the beagle?
We did. We already talked about the beagle.
Sorry.
And we talked about the pug. So we're to the point, is the Puggle the right breed for you? Come on in, play with them, check them out. Real plumpy, healthy, fun little dog. So check them out and have some fun in our store with our Puggles. I don't have pictures on my website as we are talking right now, but in another day or two, we'll have the pictures of all of our, on our website, they're labeled as Beagle / Pug, which is known as a Puggle.
There it is. And where can they go to see this little creature?
Petland, Iowa City. Are we done with the show already?
No. Not at all.
Okay. Petland, Iowa City, located at the Marketplace Mall, across the parking lot from Lucky's Market, Joanne Fabrics, and the movie theater. So,
no, I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew where you were at.
What we're talking about here and where we're going. All right. How many minutes do we got left here?
8 minutes.
I got 0 minutes. All right, 8 minutes. So really doing an about face, a 180 here. We are coming into the aquarium season. When did you start your little beta bowl? Was it what time of the year? Do you remember?
August.
That you are right on the cusp of the season for fish. So as things get colder, people think more and more about fish. You might have an aquarium in the basement, and you're like, "Oh, hey, honey, let's fire that thing back up." Why were we so unsuccessful in the past? And that's what we're going to cover today, on how to put together a nice, healthy environment for the fish. Whether you're on the 101 level or the intermediate level, you're going to hear some things that you might not have known about, and that you need to prepare yourself so you have a good time with your fish.
101, step 1.
You have to think of what kind of fish do you want. So if you are thinking cichlids, you like when you come into our fish area and you like go, "Oh, I love the color of those cichlids. I want those." Well, know that the cichlids get to be 5-6 inches long. You can't put them in a 5-gallon aquarium. You need something bigger. 20-gallon is minimum for just a couple of them. Now you're thinking more 55, 100-gallon kind of a things. So first figure out, is there a certain kind of fish that you really are driven for? And is that going to determine what kind of tank you are, what you want? You might, though, turn back and go, "Hey, my wife says that it's got to be able to fit in this room, in this corner." That might be the dictating factor, which then goes, okay, well, we have to get fish appropriate for that size of tank. Realize that there's all sorts of tanks out there to meet your style, more than ever before. So you can get those boxes like what we know about from the past, the 10-gallon, the 20-gallon on up. But now they've got these hybrid tanks that literally can look like part of your counter in the kitchen. Or have they're more display oriented, so they actually will fit in with your living room and be more of a furniture piece within your room there. Right. So check out all the different kinds that we have, and you might go, "Wait, you know what? I actually want it in the kitchen. I like that tank the way it will stick out, and I'll be able to see it from every angle within my kitchen." So that what kind of tank in size is what you want to first think about. Now let's then talk about, what are we going to put in the tank? So obviously you're going to think about what kind of fish and all that kind of stuff. But what else do you need? You need support systems for that fish. Live plants. And on the front end, are you going to do a filter or not? Are you going to just do a fish bowl without any filter? That's going to really limit what you're going to do as far as what kind of fish. Are you going to have a heater? Most fish require a heater so that you maintain a consistent temperature year-round in there. Those factors are also going to dictate, hey, you can't have a tetra, a real cute, tiny, easy to maintain tetra, if you're not going to put a heater in there. And they will also thrive if you put that filter in there. So filters and heaters are usually a must, and actually make your life a lot easier. Then getting into, how am I going to decorate that tank? You can put the plastic plants and the ornaments. We have all those kind of things in there. But Jerry was talking about a live plant. There is nothing like a live plant. Do you have a live plant in your tank?
I do not.
You need to get one.
Do I?
Yeah. I rarely send a fish home without getting a plant engaged in there because of the benefits of the plant, both to you and the fish. The fish will thrive with a plant in there. Here, I have a beta at home. It's my daughter's. It stayed back at home when she went to college. And we immediately we did the bamboo. She liked the bamboo sticking out of it kind of a thing. Personally, I like plants that are underwater, and then as they grow outside the tank itself. And in this case, it's a smaller bowl, and it will grow outside. I really like the look of that, but the fish love it too. There is that, it's not, it's synthesis that's going on. It's the oxygens and all the different gases that go back and forth that the plant takes in and out. That benefits the fish. And I just found, like, here, I used to have cichlids, which are more of an aggressive fish. I put plants in there and they all calmed down. And I'm like, I'm not sure what happened in there, but that was a pretty cool effect. So I always had plants in with the cichlids that I had in my bigger tank. So whether you put a plant in there or not is important. I would go all about it because you're going to find it looks good, the fish look good, and the fish actually like their habitat more. But by no means make that tank sparse. Everybody loves a full tank, including the fish, because the fish then swim around it and have things to do and all that. You can put ornaments. Do you have anything in your fish bowl? Do you have like an ornament?
Two castles.
I love it. That's classic. Are they the multicolored castles? I love it. Neon?
Not quite.
Oh, I love the neon castles. I remember as a little kid getting those and just having a blast and just visualizing or imagining the fish going in and out of the castle. I loved it. Or maybe you're more of the skull and bones kind of people where you got little dinosaur bones or something like that. We have all sorts of kind of ornaments that you can throw. Or maybe you're the SpongeBob person. Make it fun, because not only is it going to visually look more pleasing to you, but the fish have something to do in there as well. And then finally, lighting is important. Depending on the tank you get, you can do some wonderful things with lighting. I was just replacing some light bulbs, so I was at the store, and the person at the store was telling me about the new, like, you can control lights with your phone now if you buy the right apparatus and all that. And I was like, oh, cool. I love that. I go, aquarium lighting now can simulate electrical storms, so lightning and stuff like that. They can simulate clouds going overhead, which I think is the coolest. It sounds so simple, but when I'm watching the tank, I just am enamored by it just going up and down. You can do different colors now. So you can do the classic white, but they have all the other color spectrums in there. So you can make the color in your tank all different colors. How cool would your child think that is, let alone you? So think of the lighting that you're going to do on your tank and how crazy you're going to get with that, which is a lot of fun and really brings your tank to life. So that's the kind of the 101 on the plant things.
And you can get started for, really honestly, as low as probably $40 maybe.
Oh, way under that. I think $30 can get you into a nice beta bowl with a plant, with gravel and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's what's cool about fish. You can gear it to your budget. Where are you at? And then you usually, a year from now, you're going to go, I think I want to go to the next level. So yeah, Fish 101.
There it is. Tis the season.
Yeah, maybe fish is what you're thinking of in the direction you want to go.
And a good holiday gift also. Simple, easy, doesn't take much to set it up, and you can enjoy it all year long.
Sounds very good. Yeah, isn't that cool? The gift that keeps on giving.
There it is. How do we find out more about you?
We're Petland of Iowa City. Sundays we're open from noon until 6. Monday through Saturday we're open from 10 a.m. until 9 p.m., but Sundays noon until 6. And then come on in for just playing with the puppies, the kittens. We have adoption kittens right now that you can take advantage of, or the bunnies or the ferrets. We've got all sorts of things. Maybe you're thinking about, is pets the right thing for the Christmas this year? Check it out and learn. And I always say, let this significant other know what you're doing. Don't plunk a surprise down and then find out it wasn't the right thing. And it's a living animal at this point. So check all that out on the front end. Make your decisions now. Some people wait until Christmas morning to, plunk the whatever pet down. I say do that ahead of time, because if you're opening presents and stuff like that, the last thing you want to do is take the dog out for a walk. So have it on the front end a week before or a month before, get it all settled down so that when you're opening presents, little poopy pants is already figured out and is sitting and actually potty trained and everything by the time you're opening those presents at the Christmas tree. So we are Petland of Iowa City, located in Marketplace Mall, across from Lucky's Market, Joann Fabrics in the movie theater. Come check us out. We got the buy 10, get one free on all of our dog and cat food. We got the $5 nail trim. It's actually free if you bought your pet from us. So take advantage of all that.
There it is. Positively Petland show Sunday mornings at 9 o'clock on Iowa City's news and sports station 800 KXIC. Thanks, Ron.
Thanks.